That's right. That's
and
right.
I think it's your first year working for Cottage Farms.
Yes, it is.
But I have to tell you, in the past, and Doug, your sidekick, who's always backstage for Cottage Farms, will tell you, these rose trees are like $42, $45, $50.
Right.
Our price today is $29.98.
Yes, it is.
I don't know how we did that, and it's like double roses.
Look at that. Look, just right there for
thank you.
Because we're gonna pick. Look at the petals on these.
Beautiful.
Both of these are floribunda type roses, which just means an abundance of flowers. Lots and lots of flowers on the ends of those stems. And look at all the little petals.
I know, they're just like fluffy, like cotton candy. Okay, and look, you get both colors. You don't have to pick one, because this is what's called a dazzling design.
It is a dazzling design. Dazzling design is a trademarked name from Cottage Farms, and when you hear dazzling designs, you can all but be assured that we've chosen something that's colorful, that flowers all season long, and is an instant classic, elegant for any kind of design you want to use it for in the garden.
So here's what you need to know. This is a full-size rose tree for under $30, and we do not have very many to go around. And this is our only quantity of the season, and you get both of these gorgeous colors, the purple angel face and the peach colored cherish. You get both all in one tree. You get tons of flowers, and they're all fragrant.
That's right. That's right. We've got two varieties here. We've got this lovely angel face, which is that soft lavender that you see there, and then cherish, which is this kind of pink cherub color. Both of them have really soft but delightful fragrances, kind of citrusy, and have maybe with a little note of cinnamon. A beautiful piece, practically an instant piece for containers. You know, I mean, it's a dazzling design. You plant it and you go, and look at what you're going to really expect to see here in the second year with all of these flowers.
Well, and even in the first year, even if it's half that size,
it will flower the first year.
You're going to get tons of flowers, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Can we show the shipping sample? Do you have one out here?
In fact, I want to do a little demo with it, because this is
a big tree already.
Well, it's also one of the easiest rose trees that you're ever going to plant. Now look at this. It's again probably one of the larger specimens that we ship here at Cottage Farms. But you know, with roses, sometimes you think, gosh, I'm always scared to plant roses because roses can be a little complicated to plant. You're always wondering, where's the bud? What am I doing with it? Is it above ground? Is it below ground? Now at Cottage Farms, we've taken two varieties and put it onto one standard. All of that happens up here. So you don't have to worry about that, because all of the color, the two varieties that we're talking about are all up here at the top. All you need to do is dig a hole and get it either in the ground or a container. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Because this is, I'm spilling soil everywhere.
That's okay. We're
gardening.
We sell vacuum cleaners here. Hopefully that's our next show.
So, you know, I'm always telling people with, you know, whatever, you know, tool you want to use to dig that hole, get a nice little crown of soil down there in the middle. Something that you can almost just gently, ever so gently, push this standard down into, and let all of those roots.
It's like popped up under the root.
That's right.
You have a little mound.
You have a little mound of soil.
So the root just kind of grabs over the mound like that.
Absolutely. Yep. The roots just kind of clench that.
And then it won't tip over.
And it won't tip over. Although I'm going to stake this, because sometimes people, well, we're doing this in a pot here today. So sometimes it's really, you know, if you live in a windy area like I do in Des Moines, Iowa.
It helps it get started.
It helps it get started.
You don't have to leave it on forever.
You don't have to leave it on forever, but you know, whether it's a bamboo stake or maybe one of the plastic rods like this, get it in there ever so closely, and you'll feel it kind of press down through there. Take either a little wire tie or a little string tie like we have here, and you don't have to tie it super tight.
Yeah, give it room to grow.
But just give it a little room to grow, and also give it a little anchor and support, and it's that easy.
Okay, so that's it. Now, we do recommend our Bud and Bloom Booster for roses.
That's right. That's right. Special blend just for roses.
Really great rose fertilizer. I have tons. I don't know if, Kelly, you haven't seen my yard yet, but I have tons and tons of roses. I love roses. I have different kinds. I have hedge roses. I have roses that are trees. I use this rose fertilizer on all of them, and it really works.
Yeah, it's a great product.
So just to, guessing on some of your questions, will it keep this shape? Yes.
Yes. That is. And look.
Do I have to keep trimming it, Kelly?
No.
To make it...
You know, really, quite frankly, you don't have to do a lot of trimming on this particular piece. You see again all of the color, all of the two varieties up there at the top in this wonderful, really handsomely proportioned sphere. These two varieties are very similar in their growth habits, and that's something that we've, you know, done a little trialing and done a little research with at Cottage Farms to make sure that when we put two varieties like this onto one standard, we're getting them to grow at a similar rate, so they stay so beautifully proportioned like that example we're showing there on screen. So you don't really have to do a lot of fussing, a lot of pruning with these. It's a dazzling design. We want this to be a dazzling piece from the first day that you get it and plant it in your garden.
Okay, so over 500 ordered since we started this presentation. There are. Less than 1,200 left to go around for the season.
Right.
That means no more coming in till 2020. And honestly, we bring in different plants every year. We don't often do repeats. And a lot of you say, you know, I got one of those last year. Are you guys going to have that again this year? And often I have to say, no, we brought in something else. If you're somebody like me who likes to put these on either corner of your deck or either side of your front door in a big pot, buy 2 today. You're practically getting 2 for 1.
Right. And
because it's $30 for one.
Well, and just look at the detail in these flowers. Look at the, of course, this isn't smell-o-vision, but we wish it was because the fragrance in both of these varieties, that citrus and cinnamon fragrance, is going to be there from the first day these come into flower. And if we come in close here, I just want to show folks the amount of life, all the energy that's here in this plant. There's all of these little buds that are getting ready to break. They're ready to go from the day they come out of the box. Pot them up and water them and get them off to the races.
And these love being in a pot. Now, if you live someplace where you could put these in the ground if you want to.
Absolutely.
I actually have put them in the ground before. When they're in the ground, if you don't trim them, they tend to become like a giant rose bush, which is also pretty.
Which is lovely,
But they stay, if they're in a pot, they're easy to keep into this shape.
Right.
They also don't have a lot of trouble with pests. And, you know, some roses, you got to put eggshells in the soil and all this crazy stuff, right?
And a lot of roses have a reputation for needing to be sprayed and kind of fussed with, and we don't want to mess with that in our garden. These are not fussy. Again, 2 varieties, 2 very fragrant varieties, such lovely pastel complementary colors. I feel like these will work with a lot of different garden designs, a lot of color schemes that people have because they are both so soft and complementary.
All right, over 1,000 now ordered. We have less than 700 left. 700. We started with 17 a few minutes ago. So that's all that's left. This is a really popular item. We are not getting any more in this season. You are getting both colors in one rose tree. I, for personally, love angel face roses.
Yes.
I have just angel face roses in several areas of my garden. Those are the purple ones.
Right, shown right there.
Marie Osmond has a similar color of rose. We all love the lavender roses. That is coming along with this beautiful complementary color of the peach, which is called Cherish.
I know. What a precious name, right? A precious combination, a very classic pastel combination. Wouldn't you want to have 2, maybe 4 of those on the corners of your deck or your outdoor living space? It's a dazzling design ready to go from the first day you plant it.
So as a garden designer, and you design like major gardens, like public gardens.
Big gardens.
Can these go in a pot preferably, or would I put them in the ground?
Sure.
Or if they're in a pot and it gets wintry where I live, what do I do?
Right, so if you do put them in a pot, and I really highly suggest doing that because from a design standpoint, you can place them, you can move them around, you can mix it up. If you have a party on one deck and a barbecue out in the front, you can move these roses around so that they are there for whatever kind of styling and designing that you want to do in your garden. So if you do live in a cold climate, this is something you might want to pull into an unheated garage. These, this is a hardy rose. It's not something that requires a lot of fussing, or is it a tropical? No, it certainly isn't. This is a hardy perennial that is going to come back. But we want to keep that dazzling from year to year. Yeah. And we want to pull these into the garage just to give them a little extra kind of comforts
protection
of winter.
From the wind.
Yeah,
and
just
the
a little
freeze.
bit. Yeah.
So I